Hi, my name is Dawn Drake, and I'm talking today a bit about Fela Kuti's style of music, which is called Afrobeat. Fela was from Nigeria, and he took a lot of his concepts from James Brown as far as how he formed the music style called Afrobeat. And a lot of his style is based on the concept that every instrument functions as a drum. So even your guitar functions like a drum. Even your bass functions like a drum. And that's how I see it, and that's how I play it. So we're going to start off with this, just a few different concepts and vocabulary terms. The first being ostinato. So these repeating patterns that we're talking about that in Afrobeat are called ostinatos. And these are the same kinds of repeating patterns that you find in drum ensembles throughout West and Central Africa. So each instrument or drum, in the case of the ensemble, plays a repeating pattern, and together they form a sound that is a cognate of all those different patterns together. Those interlocking parts are exactly what it sounds like. They interlock rhythmically, and each part is played by one person, and so you have to play your part. That's the concept of a part playing. And in this music, you have to keep your part, and you cannot be thrown off by somebody else's part. But it all has to rhythmically lock together. So this is very good for rhythmic training. So the first pattern that we're going to look at is from a song called Colonial Mentality. And Fela's music was very powerful, even though he only used one or two chords in most of his songs. That laid the basis for what the horns do, all the horn lines, all the powerful vocals that he wrote. But the parts themselves were actually fairly simple. And in fact, this bass part is really only 3 notes. And it's C, A flat, F, C, A flat, F, C, A flat, F. Now you can also figure out what are the different ways to play those 3 notes on your bass or guitar. There's different ways and different places on the fretboard that you can play it. So I suggest you can play along with the song Colonial Mentality. It builds strength and stamina, and you can also learn where those notes are in different areas of the fretboard. Now, the guitars function in a similar way in that there's always one guitar in Afrobeat that sort of also sounds somewhat like a bass line. And in this song, there is a line that fits right with that bass line on one of the guitars. So the first note is A flat, then you're going F, A flat, B flat, A flat, F, A flat, B flat. It's only 3 notes, and that pattern is played on this guitar the whole song. Now this is good for stamina as well, and also rhythmic training, because you can play along and you can make sure that you are staying in rhythm with the band. Now there's always a second part in Afrobeat tunes, a second guitar that plays more chordal patterns. So this particular song, the chordal pattern, is is also based on F, so it's F, and then you're going to play a G minor, then an F minor, and then an F minor 7 to a G minor over F. So we have So this particular pattern is very much based on the clave patterns that you'll hear in Latin music or salsa. It's exactly the same as this. The clave pattern being 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Now, so if you ever get lost in trying to learn that guitar part, just think about that. So let's look at that pattern one more time. So we have F, F, G minor, F minor, and then I'm just sliding up. And those are 3 interlocking parts. I'll see you in part 2.